Hello everyone. So I was reading an article here for the Irish Times. Surprisingly, they actually done an article. They actually done some kind of journalism. Again, it's not proper journalism, but they've done some kind of in between the lines, I suppose, of journalism. So basically, they said it straight. What everybody what should be the way. Again, Ireland being Ireland, it's topsy turvy. It's just everything, whatever goes. Whatever goes. It doesn't matter. The law doesn't matter. The constitution doesn't matter. Everything's just irrelevant when it comes to the current situation. But yeah, the ongoing investigation into Leo, our tarnished though, used to be Taoiseach when he broke the law and given official documents to a rival GP, in other words, in a contract that wasn't public, and we all know it, and he even admitted himself he didn't know how many times he gave private information to other people. He said it on the door record. And again, he's still tarnished though. He's still there. Like, this is the thing. And we have to say it straight. If somebody's under investigation for corruption or breaching the ministerial code, especially as Taoiseach, you have such a big role. Especially you have such sensitive documents and sensitive information that relate to the state's security and relate to everything really to do with the state. And that he gave it to a person that wasn't authorised to see it. It's obviously a breach of the ministerial code and breach of his office, and he obviously should face prison. Again, OT are having a fit about Boris Johnson, but they should literally be having a fit every night about Leo. But again, OT know to be found because again, as we know, Simon Coveney has a good friend in OT, his brother in OT. So very less going to be said. To protect Fine Gael, and again, they need that government funding. So they're desperate for that government funding, that 10 million a year from the government of Ireland to produce their nonsense in OT. But yeah, a good friend Leo, the Irish Times say, ongoing investigation might threaten Leo's return to Taoiseach because Leo is going to be Taoiseach soon. Again, not long away. I think maybe next year is the end of this year. I don't know. I can't remember. I don't really want to know. We don't really answer it. Because nothing's going to change. Just be the same gambling shit we have to put up with. Lunatics in charge. But yeah, so imagine this. Like, he should have been gone. Like, if this was a proper country, it'd be like, Leo, go on. Go away for a while. Go away. Get out of public office for a while. Until the investigation is complete. And that would be the sensible thing to do. That would be that would be using your noggin and saying, especially, they take, for example, if you're in the private sector, you were working in a shop and you were accused of taking money, right? If the employer expected you of doing it, he'd look through the CCTV, ask the staff and X, Y, and Z, where did the money go and X, Y, and Z. He'd be like to the person, I'm going to let you go home for a while and I investigate into it. He's not going to let you walk and him investigating into what happened to the money, and he expects you to have taken it. That's just common sense. But yeah, Leo, again, this country doesn't make sense. It just doesn't make any sense. But yeah, and again, especially because he could be Taoiseach after breaking the law. And again, the guards, what the fuck are they doing? Like, let's be fair. Are they all staring into space or something like that? Like, again, the guards, we know in this country, are completely incompetent. I couldn't find a needle. But to be totally honest, nobody could find a needle in a haystack. But they couldn't organise a shooting in a nunnery. Let's be honest. They couldn't organise a non-shootery in a nunnery. Let's be fair. Incompetent. Like they go after, like, they spend their time, the majority of the time, going after citizens who have nothing to do with anything, and they spend their time running around after them, abusing them and harassing people for breaking the COVID rules. And they know where to be here. They know where to be found. Trying to investigate this because they should have some kind of proof by now. Or maybe he pulled the Francis Fitzgerald and lost his phone. Funny that now, isn't it? Lost your phone. When your questions are being asked, you lose your phone randomly. It's very funny, isn't it? But yeah, he might be taking a leaf out of the whole book. But yes, isn't that great? It's not great. But yeah, the Irish Times basically just putting it out here just to see what the public could say. And obviously everybody's like, fuck yeah, get rid of this fucker. And the Irish Times are like, no, because we actually like Leo. We're the only people who actually like Leo. And we don't want him to go, we lose our funding. Imagine if somebody's in the morning that doesn't agree with our narrative. But yeah, they basically have the violin out too at the same time. They're like, oh no, poor Leo, he had to do it. He was giving it to his friend. His friend was under extreme danger. He needed that document. And that's what the media are portraying here. So they'll do a bit of journalism. They're like, should he be Taoiseach? And they'll explain he's under criminal investigation. That's journalism, right? And then what they go underneath, like, oh no, poor Leo, what have we done to him? We have driven him to this. And they're like, oh, it's a sob story. Like, it's a sad, sad day. It's a sad day in Irish history to have to see the Irish Times reporter literally beg people to say, oh no, we can't allow this to happen to Leo. Oh, poor Leo, what has he done to deserve this? Yeah, like it's a sob story. Like, let's be fair. And this is modern day journalism in Ireland. They do a small bit in the beginning, and at the end they just simp for Leo. Isn't that nice? Isn't it great? But yeah, just one side of the opinions. In other words, they ask a good question. Now, in fairness to everyone, they came up with this. I don't know how long they took to come up with this. But that's the good question in the headline. That's the good question. That's the question that actually needs to be answered. But again, will it be answered? The Irish media just run in circles and ask the same bullshit again over and over again. Whatever's scripted. Let's put it that way. But anyway, it's a great country.